What has been your welcome to Serbia moment?
Every time we run out, same goosebumps. Whether your day went well, whether it went bad, you're sleepy, you're tired, you're hurt, like that noise when people who are real hoopers, gamers, it brings the best out of everybody.
Last season was your first season in Europe, and we saw you faced some struggles. How do you go from a struggling first season to really like owning the court?
I heard it's pretty difficult to come to Serbia as your first country. I love it here for sure. It's like engraved in my heart, forever.
Second year in Partizan, you got to experience this from a unique rivalry against Red Star. What's your relationship towards Red Star?
Derby's always fun.
Guys, just 2 seconds of your attention before starting this episode. We able to have these great conversations and living all of these experiences only through our sponsors that help us, support us to do all of this stuff. One of the big ones that we have is ByBit. And I want to talk about them because they have been trusting us in a very early stage. Thank you so much for them to support us. They are one of the biggest crypto exchange platforms and trading platforms. And it's actually funny because a lot of players that we have on the podcast use ByBit on a daily basis. So if you want to help us and if you enjoy the podcast and want to help us in achieving our ambitions and our dreams, which is serving European basketball and giving light to a game that we love, all of us, so much, check out the 2 links in descriptions where you will find different offers that ByBit has. For example, for Christmas, by winning up to 50,000 USDCs. We will put 2 different links for you guys. So there will be one for our Serbian friends and one for our European friends. And if you could take some time and check out these 2 links, and sign up to one account of ByBit. It will help us a lot. We have big ambitions, big dreams, and this is only possible, again, thanks to our sponsors. So one more time, before starting this episode, thanks to ByBit, take your time to check out these 2 links. Sign up to an account if you're interested in it, and this will help us tremendously. Trust us. Thank you. Let's go with the show.
Wash, last season was your first season in Europe, and we saw you faced some struggles, and now in the second season, you're like a brand new player, man. How do you go from a struggling first season to really like owning the court?
Yeah, man. It was a long year last year. I think the adjustment that I had to make coming from the NBA going to Europe, was something that people had tell you about. They tell you like, hey, it's gonna be different, and but like until you like experience it for the first time and kind of go through all the first time European things, then that second round I heard is a lot better, and I truly believed in that too. Just as far as coming into this year, being more confident, and it's actually my first professional basketball like team playing two years in a row.
So
crazy.
That kind of thing, for me, just is the sense of security, just knowing the offense, knowing what coach is expecting, what team is expecting of you. So. Definitely feel more comfortable, but still got a lot of work to do, man, and long way to go. So, but yeah, appreciate that.
What went wrong, let's say, for you, like last year?
Honestly, I think it just, kind of like what I said, just the adjustments of figuring everything out. I feel like I'm very adaptive, or I can fit into most situations and kind of just like figure it out. So. But last year took a while though, man. It was different. I heard it's pretty difficult to come to Serbia as your first country, as a European country. So, but man, I've like just had a big understanding and realizing like of the culture now. Like, what I'm saying? It just all kind of makes more sense coming into second year. I know where to eat is good. My house is better. Like
your mind is at peace now.
It's just different. Yeah, it's a little different. So. Definitely feels good, and I couldn't tell you, maybe last year if things went a little different and I play a little better, but it is what it is. So now we're here, and everything happens for a reason. And it's all in God's plan for sure.
I want to take you back to the beginning, and what do we need to understand you as a person and like your childhood to understand the play we have in front of us?
Wow, that's a really good question. That's nice. I'll say like. My personality is very like outgoing, very talkative, communicative. And so for me growing up, like, it could be a blessing and a burden. You're the loudest person in the room. Some people love it and, want to be with it. And other people are just like, you're too loud, you're doing too much, right? So find that balance of, this confident, who person who believes in himself can do anything, literally whatever you think of, right? And then like just keeping that that balance of, you know, I don't want to say normalness, but just, you know, chill, calm, you know. So as I gotten older, I just, you know, having my family and everything, like it's kind of just slowed me down a little bit in terms of maturity and understanding, and you know, more or less we're talking about basketball here, but really in life in general, you know. So I'd say that played a big part of, you know, this year as well. Just my kids, man, and you know, going home this past summer to be with them and to you know, spend that time with them during the summer, just kind of just put it into realization that like we gotta have a big year too, you know. So
But you know, I was shocked because I had no idea you were born in 2000.
yeah,
Like the way, you know, you're mature, family man. Thought you were like, you know, more like 28, 30. So how do you acquire this maturity so young?
Sometimes it, you know, happens without asking for it, you know. For me, I just, you know, made a conscious decision that I wanted to be this person, and for my family and, you know, my children, and had a great role model, my father, to, you know, kind of show me and pave the way for that. So one of my biggest things was I just want my kids to see me hoop.
Nice.
Like I didn't get to watch my pops hoop, you know. I got to watch my uncle, Derek Fisher. I got to watch him play and stuff, but not my dad, you know. So, you know, obviously my kids are still small now, like, but in a few years they're gonna realize, like, damn, like, you know, my pops, he hoops, like, he get buckets, like, it's hard, you know. So I just wanted to always like have that for him, and like, you know, now and talking about the content too, just like recording everything so he can watch it and watch it back. And
Nice, man.
so it's cool. Like you know, like I said, year 2, more comfortable, and but yeah, that's I'd say that's how I got to the player I am today. All those kind of things for sure.
Where does this confidence come from that we're talking about here?
Truthfully, I just remember being super young, and you know, my mom just telling me like about myself, just, you know, whatever I was doing at the time. So if I'm itching my knee, oh, I see you over there messing with your clothes, or I see you looking in the mirror at yourself, or, and she just kind of always gave me this attention, like right, like this like uplifting, boosting attention. And then I kind of like fell in love with basketball. So then like that mixed with basketball, and like I wanted to be like the best, right? So you got to like work really, really hard though to like feel this like confidence, I would say, like to believe in your skill level as like hard and as high as I do. Like I put a lot of work in like into my craft, like starting at the age of like since I can last remember. So that's where the confidence comes from, honestly. Like, you know, just the belief I have in myself, and like my abilities, how many shots I've made, and then just, you know, the manifestation part. I think like
You believe in this?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I do that before the game, after the game, like whenever. I mean, honestly, everything. Like you just kind of got to believe it, and you got to see it in a way first before it happens, you know. So try to just, those things are important, but I think the biggest part is work though. Like you got to be like you can't be confident if you're not confident in what you're about to do, you know. So
how does the manifestation part look like? Because you have a lot of players also like watching this podcast, right? And I'm sure they're curious to know, like, what is it to manifest, to perform the way you do right now?
I guess kind of for me, I just, you know, at the beginning of the game, I kind of try to take a moment of just time to myself. So, you know, separate a little bit, just work on my breathing techniques, trying to stay grounded to like where we are. Cause it's amazing, bro. Home games, away games, like these European crowds, man, they're just like, you
crazy.
Know, it just builds you up. You just want to just go run through a wall, you know.
Especially your home, man.
It's crazy. So, I think just trying to stay calm. You know, I think that's like one of the bigger things here is like there's so much going on. Like, you know, different pace, different languages, different, you know, type of people. Like it's just a lot of stuff going on, right? So staying calm, being present, like standing where your feet are, you know, trying to just every possession be the best possession it can be, and then just kind of just go from there. Yeah.
You speak about staying calm, but as you said, you got the crowd, like it's very hard to stay calm, and also the team. I see the chemistry you have with Tyreek Jones. He's everything but a calm player. Željko, the way he speaks, how do you manage to really stay composed when all the elements push you to lose control?
I kind of just come back to the same, you know, bricks that I built of myself. Just, you know, believing in myself for one, but also like, just keeping myself at zero, like trying to. I've been here before. You know, I am 25. I play a lot of basketball, and like I won, you know, a championship, and even if it's middle school, 8th grade, right? It's best feeling ever, and then you lose, you know, lose high school championship, right? And so it's just all these feelings I've just, you know, kept. Like you just remember how they feel, right? So you try to just avoid the bad ones and try to get the good ones. So, you know, keeping that zero plane is like important, you know. And my father is like the most perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Like we can, you know, I can go score and have 40 or whatever, and he'll just still be there like straight face like this.
For real?
Won't clap, won't let's go, right? And then I'll have 3-4 turnovers and
Let's talk about those.
And then he'll same.
Okay.
Same, right? And just we got to get better, learn from it, and we got another game, right? So
Interesting.
he helps me for sure. He stays with me full time. So his role in my life has been father, basketball trainer, film watcher, grandpa. Like he just does it all, right? So Swiss Army knife, and he just kind of just keeps me grounded, keeps me level headed to, you know, his professional career started in the NBA, but also like he played 10, 15 years overseas as well. So his understanding, his experience is all just kind of just flooding through me. And I'd say I put a lot of like all that pressure stuff I bring to him, and he kind of just helps me settle back in for sure.
About your environment, you grew up, as you said, with your father playing pro hoops for 15 years. Derek Fisher as an uncle. That's a special environment.
Of course.
How did these people drive you to be the person you are today?
Yeah, I just got to watch them, man, from like a kid standpoint. Like I was just a pure kid, right? I just loved my family. I thought my uncle was the coolest person ever. He's
I
in
thought
the
too.
NBA,
I was
you know,
a huge fan of this team, man. That was crazy.
Yeah. So, you know, I got to meet like everybody, like rest in peace, Uncle Kobe, like, you know, Shaq.
Nice.
I could go on and on. Like I just remember this like it was yesterday, right? So that's kind of what I want to do for my kid. You know, I just want him to see me in these environments, meeting these players, looking up like, hey, and we got millions of pictures when we're older, and they could just go back and see it all, right? But yeah, I think the bloodline is like, I don't know. I can't tell you. My dad said I picked it myself. He didn't force me to play basketball. I mean, obviously it was around. So my mom tells me before I could like walk forward, I was like just hitting the ball in one place, you know? So I'm an only child, and so all the focus was on me. They put all their energy into me every single moment, every single second. As a child, I got to just be the full center of attention, right? So back to kind of what we said about how I became who I became and stuff. But basketball was like my first like true love. Like from the moment I remember, I tried out for my first team in 3rd grade, and they wanted me to play on the 4th grade team.
Already.
And so like talking about like my father, right? He was like, nah.
Step by step.
Just don't play up, because for what? You don't. And so we waited another year, and then my first year was in 4th grade. We played like he was very what do you call it? He knew what he was doing. Let's say that. Like he put me in a position to be very successful, like as a professional basketball player. So I don't look at it any other way than this is normal and this is my life. But like people looking at it from the other way in is like, damn, you were like bred to be like a basketball player. And I'm like, yeah, it's just what I know. You know? So it's crazy. Like,
what's the best advice he ever gave you?
I would just say like being resilient. We've been through a lot of stuff, like, you know, and every experience kind of just builds up your resiliency shield or armor, you know, and every experience that you go through for the rest of your life will be able to, you know, just see it differently and through different lenses to you know, get better as a human being. I think that was like his biggest thing, is be resilient. Like good things happen, bad things happen, it's gonna be okay. But you gotta like keep pushing, you know, just kind of just get off it, yeah.
But on the other hand, having this great environment, was it too much sometimes, you know, like the pops pushing you too far and you were like, man, fuck this, and I cannot do this?
Honestly, like I think it was, you know, more the people around me, like not just me per se, but like I didn't understand this part. Why would I not be good at basketball if my parents or my uncle is who they are, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like a thing, like you're only good because of this. You're only getting this because of this, right?
People said this to you?
Yeah, no, of course. Like, I mean, and it was very local, like middle school basketball team. Like they thought I was the best because my uncle was Derek Fisher. Like
it has no correlation.
That has none, you know, but like, and then I kind of but what? Of course, like yeah, I'm the best because I learned from a guy who's really good and like so like for me it took a moment of like turning that page, but comparing yourself to others was like a huge thing that I went through my whole life. Like, why don't I get this offer? How come I didn't get this? I wanted to go to this camp. Damn, I didn't get invited to this camp. Damn, I didn't make this team, or damn, I'm not top this or top that. So I'm like, oh, he's not better than me. I'm comparing, right? And then coming back to my dad, he just always just stay ready because your time gonna come. It's gonna happen. And if you're not ready, it's bad.
It's on you, yeah.
And it's really bad, because like you asking for it, come on, and then you do, and then you shit the bed, and then it's like, damn, like. So he just said, don't ask, don't beg, don't, you can feel how you feel. You can be upset you're not playing. You can be upset you're not doing well. Got to work harder, and then when your time comes, you got to be ready for it. I think that was like another huge part of what he taught me that I kept with me.
This is a fun fact here. You happen to be born in Germany, and so my question is, one day are we going to see you with the German national team? Maybe is it something you think about?
That would be so cool. Yeah, I think the sole opportunity is that I was born in Germany, like plain and simple, and my dad was playing basketball there at the time. And now I got a few Dutch teammates with me, Dutchland teammates with me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. I don't know what exactly is going to happen. I've reached out and we've had some conversations. I don't currently have a passport, so that's like the thing that needs to be worked on. And but man, that would be a great experience, man. And I heard the Olympics are in LA 2028.
Yeah, crazy, man.
That's a good.
I just know, it is. No, it is, and I know how more as I've been here, I know how that team is. Talking to Bonga, talking with Dylan, just kind of watching FIBA basket this year and seeing it, and I definitely feel like I could help and be a great addition to them. But I also know that, man, they got a great team, and they've been with each other for a long time, and to come in and to try to put myself into that, I need to. It needs to be the right fit, the right everything. Sure, yeah. And I'm willing, man. I'm willing. I would love to, like I said, go play with Bonga. I know that would be nuts, right? I know Franz. I know Mo. Yeah. Played Franz in college, so we're cool. I spoke to him a little bit about it. Hartenstein, I played with him in New York. He hasn't played in a while either, so we talking to some guys. Just trying to get my name in the conversation.
Is it positive from their side or no?
It's kind of both. Like
okay.
When I came to Europe, everybody was like, yeah, he was born in Germany. Like, so a lot of the websites have American, German American, like, but I just don't have the passport. I don't have a German passport. So, that's something that obviously needs to happen before all that stuff. So, we'll see. I was born there. I lived there for some time. My dad was born there as well. People don't know that either. My dad was born there as well. So it's just crazy. Like, life is.
And your kid is born in Serbia, so you keep the tradition going. This is crazy, man.
It's really wild.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
We very often ask, European players what has been their welcome to the NBA moment when they go over there. But I would like to change the question. What has been your EuroLeague moment? Welcome to the EuroLeague moment.
Oh man, welcome to the EuroLeague moment. Last year we were in. I don't remember the exact game. Maybe the more I talk about it, I'll get it. I tried to do a take foul, and they called it unsportsmanlike. And then personally, I've never coming from America, like playing American basketball, you don't take foul. There's no such thing. It's a rule, and if you do it, there's 2 free throws and the ball. So that got taken out in the NBA. I forgot, maybe 2010s and that before the 2020, something like that. So it just was a huge adjustment. Stop the ball, take a foul. But if you don't do it the right way, they're gonna call this foul. So I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm 5-6 fouls in a row. I try to do a take foul. I got either unsportsman or somebody was shooting it. Got an and one or so just that. I feel like that's that's the one that's right here all the time. It's just damn, I think I'm pretty good at it now. I still maybe need to do it more, but it's a really important part of the game, and especially in Europe, to stop a possession, to get you back matched up, to put you in a position to get a sub in, whatever it is, to stop a bucket. So I'd say that would be the crowd going crazy. I'm, oh my gosh, unsportsman. What does that even mean? I'm damn, so I'd probably say that was one of my moments. Yeah.
It's also last games against Olympiacos. Milton, for example, just came from the NBA. So there was a free throw and the ball bounced a few times. And he just, yeah, and you got to have the reflex to just tip it off. But you got to come in naturally, right?
You know, I always say if I get down there, I want to try to get me one of those.
You want to try one?
Yeah.
That's got to feel like
like
be cool.
The manifestation thing, right? Like one day you go get a game-winning save. Like I thought about that before, like going up there, getting the ball off. Like it's happened to me before. I shot a free throw and I don't know if it was a preseason game or whatever, but it was like sitting on the rim and it got hit and I was like, what? And then they were like, it's okay. Like this is what happens.
Yeah.
Like da 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 da. I'm like, oh my gosh, so you gotta make it. Like just make it like straight through the net. But yeah.
Were you familiar with European ball when you were back in the US or not at all?
I watched Team USA when they played like the not the dream team the one out like LeBron and Melo and Kobe and Dwayne Wade, Dwight Howard. Like I watched that kind of European basketball. But then I'm a junkie. I love hoops, so I know basketball. Like I know players like Dirk Nowitzki. That was like one of my like favorite like
nice.
And I was born in Germany too, so I kind of felt like I was like I liked how he played. I liked how he shot the ball. And they were battling in the West. I got to see that matchup with the Lakers a lot. Like so, I would say, that's probably like my understanding of it. I knew a lot of players, but not necessarily like I didn't know anything about like Partizan. I didn't know anything about teams like that. I think I maybe knew about the EuroLeague. Like I knew that there was like a lot of basketball in Europe. It was great basketball, but that's
Mike James.
it.
That's the name that keep the Americans keep knowing.
Yeah. Mike James. He probably like the first one.
Okay,
yeah. Like or at least to my knowledge, like I'm sure there was a lot more before. And
but it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to everyone who has come overseas. Prior to me, prior to Mike, like who paved the way to just and we're continuing to do so. Is another opportunity to play really high level basketball, travel the world, and just kind of see these experiences and, still do what we love. I think it's just a really cool experience.
Talking about experiences, what has been your welcome to Serbia moment?
Welcome to Serbia.
Off the court.
Off the court.
Oh, man.
I went to the mall, to the Galleria, and I just didn't really like. This was in the beginning, and I don't even think I played in like any games or anything yet. But it was like just every 5 seconds, just like somebody running up to you, like Washington, može slika, može, right? And I'm like, okay, and we taking pictures, and I never have an issue with taking pictures or anything. Like I think it's really cool to be able to affect other people like that, and so that picture goes a long way, or that hello or whatever, so but that I would say like it was wild, like
crazy.
I was with my family and like every turn, like it was just, and then what happens is people see you talking to somebody and then it's like, oh, I want to pay, and then it's like 7 people just like right there,
We had JB on the podcast and he said
that
he couldn't even make groceries anymore, so he would just order because it was like like a storm of people coming every time to him.
Yeah, but I'm really thankful for it though. Like I ain't gonna lie, like talking about it again, like when I, as a kid growing up, like this is something that I dreamed of, like to just have a opportunity like this to play basketball in front of diehard loyal fans who love basketball but love the team more than anything on the planet, is what like people really tell me. So and what I've heard like and see and feel too. So I never take it for granted, and I never like brush past it, or there's games where we're frustrated and there's games where we're upset, and we're all humans, and there's like times where I'm okay for the picture right now, but man, like it's a blessing, and every time I can I will, and
nice.
It's just a really, really cool experience, and it's gonna stop one day, so just trying to live it up and just trying to soak it all in and just affect in a positive way as many people as possible, So
yeah, second year in Partizan, you got to experience this from a unique rivalry against Red Star. What's your relationship towards Red Star?
I've heard a lot of things. You don't talk about them because you don't talk about them. Media and people can flip your words and try to make you out there and start some stuff and whatever. So, I stay out the comments of Red Star and everything like that. honestly, that's really simply put, just like
Yeah.
that. You know, there's no bad blood for me personally, but I definitely know the history. I definitely know the legacy, and I've seen it firsthand. So, you know, I love competing at a high level, and I love good basketball. So, you know, that game is always, the derby's always fun. You know, black and white. You know, I feel it. I feel the legacy. I feel the history. Is so. No, I don't have an answer for that question, but I love it here for sure. You know, this is a one of a kind place that's like very, very special, and you know, it's like engraved in my heart. You know, for forever. You know, just this experience and. But shit, we still here. Shit, we got a whole another year to go.
Hell yeah.
You know, the future is unforeseen. You know, we got a long way to go this year. Still a lot more games left. And you know, we just getting better. We figuring it out. So.
But I want to take you back to your college days, Ohio State, crazy team, crazy time. So you played 3 years.
Yep.
You decided to go to the draft, and you
Yep.
know some people they go to the draft and then they get away to maintain their eligibility. You didn't do that, and then happened to go undrafted. How
Yep.
did you feel at this moment?
Heartbroken.
Yeah,
To be honest,
'Cause
yeah.
you,
for
you like you
sure.
were convinced you were gonna get drafted.
I don't even want to say convinced I was gonna get drafted. Just you know, you know you're convinced when they pick up the phone like and tell you before, or they say, hey, like we're gonna draft you. Don't go work out for anybody else or whatever. They make a promise to you, right? That's like convinced. So I didn't have that. I had that undeniable belief in myself that I was gonna get drafted, that I was gonna make my dream come true, like hear my name on the TV and sit with my family and watching it, and it was the coolest shit ever, right? So when it didn't happen, of course, I was heartbroken. I was frustrated. I knew I was signing before the draft was over, but it just was like not. I didn't get to watch my name get called, you know. So that was like kind of what I wanted to experience. But man, everything in my life has not been the way that I've wanted it. So it's always happened, but not the exact way I pictured it. So, you know, I didn't change my mindset any more than that right there. Just, hey, I'm on the Indiana Pacers now. I didn't get drafted, but, you know, you're still in the NBA, and you're going to play, and you get an opportunity, and you're going to have a chance. And so, you know, definitely heartbroken though, bro. I think that was like one of my like bucket list things that, you know, that night goes by and then it can never happen again, ever. Can never go back to the NBA draft and get, you know what I'm saying? So it was like a chapter that closed that just opened up another can of worms of hard work and trust and belief and just like grind. And so it was, you know, everything happens for a reason. That's why I am who I am right now. And, you know, thankful for all the opportunities, and, you know, everything is in God's plan. So
The marathon continues, man.
marathon continues, slow grind.
But
Slow grind.
you still knew that at some point you will end up being in the NBA at this moment, or you had like big doubts that you were like, ah, shit, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Nah, never, not big doubts, man. Just it looked different than what I wanted it to. It's a little bit harder now, a little bit detour this way to go back to the beginning, you know? So, like I said, it's kind of been story of my life, right? You just kind of figure it out. Something gets thrown in the way, you're going to go through it if you can. If you can't, you got to go around it, above it, below it, or like scratch through it, go get something to break it, like whatever, right? You got to figure it out. So, that was just another strike, another mark, like another just let's keep moving, you know? So
As a player, you know, we heard a lot of stories when there's one of these detours happening, like you mentioned, the players, you know, can give up, or like the career takes like, you know, a bad position, right? How, like, what would be your advice for any player, overseas or not overseas, that is facing one of these detours?
yeah. I would just, you know, we're humans, like at the end of the day, and humans are like, they need certain things to like have healthy relationships, to have, you know, healthy themselves to survive and thrive, right? So first thing I would say is just kind of like rely on your support system, like rely on your frame, your structure, your beginning, right? So if it's your family, if it's you know, hard work, if it's reading a book, if it's meditating, if it's trying to figure out what to bring you back to that place where you started, why you started, you know, to try to just understand it, because it's part of it, man. Being a professional athlete is like a very stressful, taxing job. And as cool as it is that we get to, you know, play sports and I get to play basketball for a living, but it can be really taxing. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into it that doesn't really get talked about all the time. So my first thing would just be to say, rely on your support system, rely on your family. And then the second thing I would say is look yourself in the mirror and like kind of just like, you got to really ask yourself, like, is this what you want to do? Like, and I'm not talking like metaphorically, like I'm talking like go stand in front of a mirror and look at yourself and like talk to yourself and like really see if this is something that you want to do. Because, you know, like I said, we're humans, bro. When I was 5, 6, 7, 8, all I wanted to do was be a professional basketball player. Every form I filled out, every paper I drew, what do you want to be when you grow up? Professional basketball player, right? So, you know, getting older, like we're humans, we're so much more than just one thing, right? So I have a whole bunch of other enjoyments in life that I can, you know, kind of, I don't want to say escape, but also just get those dopamine hits from Pokemon cards or video games or movies or, you know, hanging with my children now is a huge one. Like it just takes away all the hardness and hardships of basketball. So I think relying on your support system is huge. Like when you kind of going through these slumps, these detours, these frustrations, because it's part of it, man. You got to be, it's a team. It's not like a solo thing. So at some point you're going to be put in a position where you got to sacrifice. And I think that's like, can really eat away at you. And you're in a country you've never been in before and you're traveling to places and, you know, people look completely different than you and you're seeing all these different types of people and different types of food, and it's just all these things adjusting at one time could be a lot. So got to rely on your support system and just and trust yourself.
Is it what you expected it to be when you were like a kid drawing, you know, yourself being a basketball player? Now looking back, is it like what you expected?
Nah, like not even close. Like you could have asked me a million times, and are you gonna play in Serbia? Hell no. Yeah. And now to reiterate that or talk about it again, like this is like one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life. Like, so the hardest one too. So it's just like, I call it core memories. Like it's going to be with me forever, you know, like I'm never going to forget it. It's going to shape me to who I am in 10 years, next year, next month. Like, so I'm thankful for it. Like everything happens for a reason. I don't regret a single thing. And I'm super blessed to be like in this position that I am in, you know, but definitely didn't think I would have been in Serbia. Like it's crazy, you know, it's crazy. Life is crazy. It's beautiful, ups and downs. Just got to keep flowing, keep rolling with it.
Is your family with you full time in Serbia?
Not full time. Not full time. No.
Why this choice?
Yeah. Just we felt it was the best for our situation, for our family, and you know, I'm gonna keep it at that. But they're gonna come out this year. They're gonna come out more than they did last year. They came out twice last year. They're gonna come out a few more times. And
beautiful.
We gotta make this. Gotta make it to the playoffs, man. That's like so they can come out and just see this experience, and so that's the goal, man. That's the goal. Beautiful.
I feel like just the way your eyes change when you talk about your family, they mean so much to you. And not having them close to you all the time, you know, when you're down, having a rough patch, how do you manage to bounce back?
Man, I always say this to people. I'm gonna write a book on FaceTime one day, because iPhones and FaceTime is like amazing, bro. Like, you know, my children growing up in a time where like technology is like super big, right? So the balance of like picking up a phone or a tablet, you know, like we got a tablet at the house or iPad, but it's like to FaceTime me, you know, and like they're gonna wake up here soon, and you know, I'm gonna call them and we're gonna be on the phone all day and talking, and you know, my son can come click the button, hang up, turn it up, he can move the camera, like, so, you know, as much as I'm not physically there, like I'm there, like, you know, I'm in the room, like, and my voice is still being heard and my face, and but it definitely is tough, bro. I mean, yeah, it's definitely really tough, and they're the most important things to me ever. So, but I'm sacrificing for them. I'm playing basketball, you know, on top of me loving basketball. It's my job. Like I do this to provide for myself, for my family, and this is like what I'm doing right now. You know, go work for 9-10 months, and then we're gonna come back, and then, you know, as we get a little older, they're gonna start experiencing more, and you know, my youngest can once we all like can we're gonna be Euro stepping. We're gonna be all through it. You know what I'm saying? So.
During the last podcast, we started a discussion out of nowhere, really interesting, where legends, big time players, they were saying that if they were playing for 2,000-3,000, like 80% of the players, 90%, they wouldn't do it because it's too much sacrifice. How would you be in the position? Would you keep playing basketball if it was for those harder contracts in Europe also?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's different for everybody. I can't speak for everybody. I know I definitely can speak for myself, and I just love basketball. Like basketball is like, truthfully, like, I've never seen it any other way than like me playing basketball to like provide or to, you know, be my job, my source of income, right? But as I've gotten older, like, excuse me, I can't play till I'm 50. I can't play till, some people don't play till they're like, you know, I'm 25.
Fast,
it does. No, it does. Like, and this is my 5th professional year.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm 25, right? And like, it's just crazy to think about like my goal to get to 15 years or whatever, right? And then what? I'm 40 with hopefully 60 years, like that's, I mean, 100 years, right? Like just the average, whatever, right? And like the time you have left, like what we gonna do? Like we're gonna make more money. We're gonna not like, it's a whole nother life that I'm gonna have, you know, that I just want to set myself up for to be the best I could be for my kids too. You know, I'll be 40. That'll be 15 years, and my kids are, he's 3 now, so what? 50, it'll be 18.
18, man, grown
That's
man.
perfect timing. You know what I'm saying? So send him off to college. Like, where you hooping at? We can go over here with you. Where you, whatever sport he want to play, whatever he want to do, he can do whatever he want to do. You know, so. It's all for them. That's like the biggest thing. So if it made sense, I think, you know, hooping, you get to hoop, you know, it's the best job ever, literally. Best. Being a dad, number one. That's like, they're tied. If it's not that, it's flip, you know. So
yeah, that's tough.
That's what I tell people for sure.
I would like to come back, Wash, about your knowledge of European basketball before coming, right? Did you know who Željko was before coming?
I did not know who coach was before I signed, before they called me. They called me, and then I went on the internet and kind of just one word Partizan and just wanted to like see what happened.
Like, oh
right?
shit.
Like, what the
Yo.
what is this? I go to PBG TV, I'm watching all like the inside videos, trying to just see, like, I'm like, damn, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You got your hype though, right?
For sure. I'm showing my wife, like, this is wild.
Yeah.
Like,
I think your wife must be scary.
no. I mean, and then, like I said, I love hoops, bro. Like, it was just like amazing to see how people were this like emotionally involved with, like, at the games, not at the games, with a sports team. Like, I was like, imagine, I use this example, like, you know, Partizan, you know, there's handball, soccer, football, basketball, a lot more too. That, like, a lot more, right?
Yeah.
But like, imagine the Los Angeles Lakers had a soccer team.
It would be
I mean, I
insane.
know that there's like teams in LA, but like the same club, football, baseball in America, soccer, everything in one, you know, I just compare it to like how it is here. And then this one too, like, you know, I've experienced watching the young guys, the kids, right? So I'll go and watch them, and they're wearing the same stuff as us, Partizan. Like, I just think it's so cool. Like, they're 12 years old and I'm 25 playing for Partizan too, right? And like, you could just go like this and go to the big club. And that's like, as a Serbian, I feel like that's like the biggest thing ever.
Sure.
You want to play for like Partizan. I mean, maybe Red Star too, but like, you just got, that's what you want to do. You know, there's no high school sports. It's like a
straight, like, that's the
just, it's like
no
straight
shortcuts.
into like, you know what I mean? So it's cool. Like, it's a different experience, and like seeing it from like that way was cool. And so, but like, all that said, like, it's just like a history thing, like a legendary thing, you know, like, so it's just really cool. I try to explain it to everybody back home, but it's like,
they don't understand. You got to experience
It's hard to understand. I think you don't see
Yeah.
it. The first time I went there,
you can watch, but nah, it's not the same.
I just got like goosebumps, but not even from the game, like from the environment. You know, it just gives you like
Like, you
straight.
can feel the
Yes,
energy.
man.
Yeah. It's special. Shit, it's special for everybody else too. Everybody who come in there play their best game. Like, that's another thing. Like, it brings the best out of everybody, not just us. Like, everybody. You know, people who are real hoopers, gamers. It brings the best out of everybody.
Do you get used to it?
No. I mean, used to it as in, hey, we have a game today in our home arena, yeah, but not like every time we run out, same goosebumps, same feeling like,
Nice.
whoa, like we're here, like let's go. Like whether your day went well, whether it went bad, you're sleepy, you're tired, you're hurt, like that noise when like it just right?
Oh.
Especially just turns on that like it's time to go, you know.
Yeah. You know, his first game watching Partizan was against Alba last season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, we were like right behind their bench and we had a guy next to us, and you know him, bald guy, full of tattoos with a big beard. You're a tattoo guy.
Mare.
Yo, he was almost ripping off the whole. He's insane.
I had
But
the
like-
feeling he was about to rip out the heads of
Or
Alba,
like,
man.
yeah, it's
Crazy.
like because he's right behind the bench. That's his
Yeah, that's
yeah,
your tattoo guy, right?
Yes, his name Mare. Yeah.
You gotta put me on with him, man.
I got you. Yeah. He that's what I'm saying. Like just that energy. Like you know, how can you not go out there and fight or just play hard or you know play well or you know just want to be out there. You know, so that experience and that opportunity is. If I would tell anybody to try to experience it if you can, you know.
I think it's so crazy because I have the feeling that, you know, for these kind of people, it's more important sometimes even for them to win than for yourself as a player. I think they really like for them. They sometimes I guess they have nothing else, you know. So it's like, is this an extra motivation for you?
I was for sure. I would even say it's like an extra teammate. Like just that, especially when things are going well, bro. It's like really crazy. Like you can't even hear the other team can't even call a play because it's so loud, you know. Like,
Yeah.
even us sometimes, like we got to use signals because you can't like physically say
Yeah.
words because it's so loud in there, you know.
Coming back to your relationship with Coach Željko, we know it's a one-of-one, and I'm curious because you experienced both the NBA and the EuroLeague. Do you think that a coach like this would be able to thrive in a NBA environment?
I think it's just I think it's different. I think you know, especially where the game has changed in the NBA and like how far it's come and you know, from the style of back in the day, like back to the basket, post ups and, you know, triangle offense and stuff like that to now let's shoot like 45 threes, like just get them up, right? You know, it's definitely a different era, a different time. So, you know, do I think he could? Do I think that I think anybody could with the right opportunity, with the right situation, and the right staff. I mean, I think it's important to who all's there and all that good stuff too. But man, he's 9 EuroLeague titles. You know, you can't really like what are you gonna say? Like that's legendary right there. So,
But as a person, because I'm saying, of course, he has the knowledge, everything, but sometimes I see the way he speaks to y'all is. I don't think you can do that in NBA because we always say NBA is a players' league and EuroLeague is a coaches' league. Do you think like players in NBA could accept this type of discussion with the coach?
I mean, me as a person, you know, I've seen both, and I've seen the laxness or the relaxing, the non-caring is what other people would call it in the NBA. Like, you know, I've seen both sides. Like. Coming from America and hearing how crazy it is in Europe, and then you know hearing from Europe's how lazy it is in the NBA, right? So you know I've seen both, and I think that you know I can handle it. Me personally, yes, I can, but not everybody can. Nah, for sure, not everybody. But it's part of it though, and like I said, man, he ain't getting 9 for no reason. You know, I think that's like. Simply put, right there, he got 9 of them things, you know.
Yeah.
So he was doing something right, you know. So
Goddamn.
What is your personal relationship with Željko?
It's come a long way, you know. I think there was never any, you know, animosity or anything, and never any like. But he needed to trust me. Like I'm still working on that. Like I'm still working to just our relationship to just be. At a point where you know it's comfortable for both of us, you know. But I think we're in a great place, man. I think that you know last year he had to just really see like what I was about. Like that's just part of it with him, you know. Like he's seen a lot of players. Like he's been coaching for 30 years. He's seen everybody top to bottom. So you know he just had to get my impression, feel me out, and still here, and still pushing, and having a definitely personally we're having. I mean, we 3-6 too, so you know we doing better than we did last year. We was 2-8 at the beginning, man, and I think that you know we taking a step in the right direction. We battling with some injuries right now, but you know, regardless, we still are in a better position than we were last year. I know it's hard to say that right now. Hard loss last night, and you know the one before that as well. So we're gonna figure it out though. Like you know, our relationship is definitely is in the right place for sure.
You being from the NBA American ecosystem, how does practice look like in Partizan Belgrade?
Yeah, we hoop every day.
Every day.
It's like 5-on-5. I like that.
Yeah, it's like
intense.
I said, gotta love basketball, bro. take care of your body and gotta love it, you know. But you get better every day. Truthfully, you do. Like you know, I say one thing about the NBA is you don't practice. So like if you're not playing, you're just there, you know.
So you don't get better in your opinion?
I wouldn't say it's not better. It's just you don't get reps because you know the guys who are playing, we're not scrimmaging, you know. I remember in New York, like I'm not, you know, guys that come in for 15, 20 minutes, run plays, and then go do a workout, and then that's it. You know, that's practice. And then, you know, the guys who don't play, though, let's go play over here with the managers. That's 3-on-3, 2-on-2, stuff like that. But it's not 5-on-5. It's not fives with the actual competition that you're going to play against, like, you know, like, so you got to love it. Got to love hoops, man. You come over here, you got to love hoops. That's how I say it. You got to love hoops. Got to want to be able to play basketball every single day. So it's nice, though, bro. You get better every day, for sure.
Nice. But your career so far in Europe is a great example of be patient, because sometimes you're this big name coming and people have expectations right away. Of course, they struggle the first year, and then they just change teams. Or you show that if you stick to the plan and manage to stay consistent, as you say, it's going to work out. I'm thinking also of Juancho Hernan Gomez was struggling, Sterling Brown. What advice would you give to those Americans that come in with this mentality of, oh, I'm from the NBA, I'm going to kill everything?
I mean, truthfully, like we can talk about it all, like we can say everything and like, but like, I mean, I know that there's guys like me that like, oh, I can score on anybody. I can, oh no, this confidence, right? This like level of like, so, but me personally, like I felt like that too. Like I'm not even going to sit here and try to like, I thought that it was going to be a significant difference in how, I don't want to say easy, I just knew it was going to be different. Like I knew that it was not going to be like the NBA. The guys were not as athletic, but then I knew there was less space. I knew there was less space. The rules were different, and you know there was going to be an adjustment, but I didn't know it was going to be like that.
It's crazy. Talking about the space, there's no space.
I didn't know it was going to be like that at all. And I think the ability to shoot the ball, last year I just wasn't making shots. Like my 3-ball wasn't dropping. I don't know if it was 4 years of training shooting an NBA 3.
Yeah, maybe
because a European 3 in the NBA is the worst shot in basketball.
Yeah,
your feet are on the 3-point line.
Yeah,
you step back and shoot a 3, not in between. Right. So I couldn't tell you how many in between. I couldn't tell you how many in between shots I've ever shot in my life.
Fucking like, noise is different too, man.
College was way closer than NBA.
True.
So it was like in between. Literally, I'm telling you, it was college and then NBA.
Yeah.
And then Europe is right there.
Which is the worst shot. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying. Like literally, it's like, why would you shoot this? Just shoot this.
Kevin Garnett
in college,
shot.
Get closer. It's crazy, right? So all those things, like I could talk basketball, the rules, the speed, the possessions, refs. Like everything. Seriously, like and all that stuff can like really change everything, like your game, right? And I think the biggest thing is like just possession quality, like you get your eyes on the rim. 2 feet, set, ready to shoot. In the NBA, no matter what time it is on the clock, shoot it.
Yeah,
good shot. We got up a good shot, possession. But here, if we're not getting like what we want right now, like that's not a good possession, and like we just wasted it. Yeah, even sub and depending on what happens. Yeah, seriously. So learning all that stuff, and then defensively too. I think just learning how to play defense in Europe too was hard. But back to the question. Sorry, I could go like this all and on. Question was, what would I say to somebody that's coming over here? I probably would just say like, you just got to be humble. Like you got to put yourself in a position of like, yeah, I've never done this before, because you're coming on a team with foreigners who are playing on their NBA team's country or like their professional best team in the country, right? And they think they're the best in their country or for like so every day, like no matter what professional team you're on, everybody thinks they're the best. You wouldn't have got there if you didn't think you were that good, right? So now you're battling with yourself. You're battling with this guy who's like, he's in America. He's not going to come in here and score on me.
Yeah,
or
it's personal for them.
I'll tackle you before you score on me. Or I'll jump on your like back before you tackle. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, just learning the ins and the outs. And then I think, you know, college would be the only closest thing I could say towards, you know, European basketball. And when you're out of college for 7, 8, 10 years and you kind of get thrown back into that like feeling, it can be a very rude awakening. And I think that can happen with some guys coming from the NBA to Europe. So,
well, it happens. It happens a lot.
No, it does. Yeah. And some people fizzle out and other people, you know, grind it out. And, you know, some people's opportunities need to be different, you know, and, you know, it all works out in the end. But that would be what I'd say. Just be aware, be very aware, and like you got to be humble, bro, because it'll get you quick, literally. Like, it will.
Is going back to the NBA still the ultimate goal?
Man, I think, yeah. I mean, that's definitely like something that I feel like I didn't even reach close to my potential as an NBA basketball player, you know. But, you know, but my mind is is changed a lot. Like coming from, I'm gonna only play, like I want to play in the NBA and sign this contract and play on the same team and you know, like kind of like my uncle's situation. Like he just played with the Lakers for a long time and built this foundation, built this legacy, right? Like, and that's something that I wanted, right? I wanted to go somewhere, change the culture, be a sticky guy, like the guy that just was there 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So, you know, I have no idea what the future holds. I have no idea, and I'm 25, and this is probably the first time in my life that I felt like that.
Does this scare you?
For sure. This is all new. Everything I'm going through right now is new. I've never been in these emotions, these feelings before as like a basketball player, right? And like not really knowing the future. You know, you're in college. You know, you're freshman, sophomore year. Oh, I got college. Like I got 2 more years. Like I got next year, whatever. You know, this is my contract year now. So, you know, you do really well and you get a better job. If you don't do well, then you either get a worse job or the same, or, you know, so, and then it's like where, when, who, like all these things just, you know, flow through your mind, and then gotta figure out that line, bro, that balance of, okay, how can we put ourselves in the best position to provide and just support, right? So now we just gotta keep playing well. We gotta do our best to win games, and you know, winning takes care of everything. I really believe that. So you go out there and win games, you know, everybody eats, like everybody gets some benefit from it, you know. So that's the goal, of course. Just, you know, still the best league in the world, best league in the world if you call it, and something that you know, my dreams have always been there and heart has been there. But man, I'm here 10 toes. I'm going back to Serbia today, practice tomorrow. Like I'm with it. Like, you know, so it's all love, man. And basketball is amazing. Basketball is the best job ever.
Beautiful,
basketball,
man.
being a dad.
I really hope for you and Partizan to go a long way, because you guys are a great group of guys.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that.
And
it means a lot.
Hopefully see you in the playoffs, in the Final Four.
Yeah, game by game, man. Game by game, we're going to just keep grinding, keep working. And everything happens for a reason, man. So
I like how you stay composed and keep trusting the process. Even coach last night, some coaches would be like, man, the players are not doing good enough. But he was, I'm proud of my guys. They work hard. It's going to come at some point. And I think it's the mentality for
basketball guys, too. They got a little juice, couple little tricks up there that you do it right. You respect the game. It's gonna work out. That's how I truly believe that. So.
Nice one. There's a question we ask to players, you know, especially defensive players, when they have guys attacking them. But I would like to change the question again. Not what's the most difficult player to guard, but what's the most difficult player to attack, being an offensive player like you are?
The most difficult player to attack, I'd say somebody who is like similar speed, similar athleticism, but with a little more like length.
You have an example of a player in Europe?
Ntilikina. is my brother. Love that dude to death, man. But like a guy like that, like
Okay.
long arms, can move with me. Like I don't, not significantly faster than him or significantly more athletic. Somebody he kind of can stick with you, right? And then at the end of a shot, 7-1 or like those kind of guys, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
those
yes,
guys.
yes. And so that was a great example. Like that's one of the first guys I think about every time. Like back to the point, 5-on-5 every single day in practice. Like last year, for example.
I
So
would have been a grind,
just
man.
getting to just, especially even just going through those, motions and going through plays and going through everything, just that kind of build. That would be what I'd say.
Do you still believe you can score on anybody?
100%. No question about it. I don't, not too much to talk about. I just kind of just do what I need to do, and but that's the belief part, man. Absolutely, I think I can with the best of them for sure.
I'm a huge fan of the All-Star format, and I really want to see this. France is trying the one-on-one tournament in the All-Star.
Oh man,
that would be fun to see you in the All-Star League tournament.
I seen they thinking about or maybe doing something in the NBA with that too. That would be
They
like
should, man.
that would be crazy.
You think you would win it one-on-one?
I honestly, like, I'm not the guy to go be like, hey, let's go play ones. But if you like ask me to play ones
for a title, like
it's popping. Yeah, it's on and popping.
All right.
I played one-on-one with Chris Paul and Devin Booker almost like every day in Phoenix.
And you won?
A few spots here and there. Not the majority of them though, but a few spots here and there. They man, they got me better though, dude. That shit is, and the shit that they talk. Oh my God.
For real? I would not expect those out of everyone. Those players to be like the
That's
good
a
ones.
whole nother podcast. We could talk about
Yeah.
that for a minute.
We run it back in Serbia.
Couple more questions before we finish the podcast here. You said in the beginning that you and your father, you went through a lot of stuff, right, together. Can you tell us one stuff that was kind of the most difficult for you and that shaped you the player you are today?
Yeah. Oh man. My dad went to jail. I was in 7th grade, I think, 6th or 7th grade, and bro, I had a basketball camp, John Lucas Camp Right Way basketball, Chicago, Illinois, and this was the first basketball camp I ever had without him there. Like first ever basketball anything without him there. And I just remember like my mom came and she was so nervous. She was so like just coaches in there yelling, screaming, like it was serious. This was a serious basketball camp, and she was sitting in the crowd like, oh my gosh, like look at my son, like I'm nervous, like I'm 12, 11 and fresh. My dad just, got incarcerated. We were just like, damn, like. So I get there and, my dad knows some of the people at the camp, like just basketball, right? My uncle's Derek Fisher, like John Lucas. My dad actually played on John Lucas's team back in the day. It was a team for guys who got into some trouble off the court in the NBA, and they got a second chance. So nothing to do with me and my dad, or excuse me, my dad and his relationship. Why I got invited to the camp, I got invited because I was good enough to go, right? And my dad made sure of that my whole career, like my whole life, he never, hey, can you do this for my son? Hey, can you do this? Da-da-da-da-da. He let me do it all by myself. All the relationships he had, he never, hey, can you offer him? Or hey, can you make him make the team? Nothing, right? So I'm at the camp and I'm like, damn, like I don't got my dad. Like, you see him make a good pass or 2 feet or shoot it higher, right? And he's just not there. Like, and so I was just like, damn. Like, and then I just remember like hearing like what he would say, or like, oh, maybe he would have said this, or like. So now I realize like what he's saying was like really instilled with me, like it was working. Now he's not there to be like, no, do this, and your foot's too far over here, you got it right. But that was the point where I like
understood the message. Just
like realized like, okay, this is what I want to do, and I have the blueprint, the foundation. Like he really put that in me. So just keep your follow through, hold it. Like all those things would just flow through, and I had a really good camp. Like I did. Like I played good. I was one of the top performers at the camp, and drove home my mom and just was like, we was crying on the way home, like missing my dad and shit. But like it was like a core memory, like a boom, like and that kind of just, to me, like I was like, yeah, I for sure, like I want this. Like I want to be a pro. I want to be able to take care of everybody, and I want to be like a guy who supports his family because of basketball. Like that was the day, that was the weekend, and life changed after that. So that would be one of my experiences.
Can we say what you went to jail for?
Yeah, he got into a car accident.
Okay.
Into a car accident. Yeah. Unfortunate, very, very unfortunate situation. Just hit and run. Didn't realize he hit somebody on the freeway. And nighttime, raining. He thought it was a deer. So
Oh shit.
went home.
Damn.
And it happened to be an old lady. She suffered some broken ribs, and I think she may have broken her hip and her leg. And but prayers with her, she healed and everything was okay with her. But it just was a terrible, terrible accident, like movie type of situation.
So he didn't went for long then? I guess.
Nah, just I think he got sentenced to a year. So
Okay.
he was there for 8 or 9 months, if I'm not
A
mistaken.
year is still crazy for a car
No,
accident,
it
man.
was crazy.
Damn.
It was crazy, and they definitely tried to, like, you know, former NBA basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
of
a whole
course.
deal.
Everybody was jumping on it.
So it was kind of just like a, you know, his name. This is his name. You look up Duane Washington, right? I was in middle school, and the first thing you would see was Duane Washington,
Yeah.
ex-NBA player, like 4, 5, 6, the first 3 Google slides, right? And so that was like horrible. Like, just hated it, right? And I was like, I gotta change that shit. Now you look that shit up,
No more.
hell no, that shit ain't nowhere to be found, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and that was like one of my biggest like accomplishments. Like, hell yeah. And same with my son. I want him to be able to see all that shit too. Cause I remember one day that was how somebody came up to me. I was in elementary school. Google elementary school. You look up Google, it'll show my dad getting out the NBA too. Like the reason for out the NBA and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And it's just crazy. I changed all of it, man. That was
Personal.
it was
Beautiful.
just I'm gonna make a YouTube video out of it. So
You should.
just talking about Google, like how I started it
Yeah.
and where it's at now. So
Is he proud of the player and the man you're today?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I'm one of his greatest accomplishments, greatest achievements, and I think that he's one of mine too. You know, I couldn't express or put onto words or anything our relationship. You know, the pricelessness. Like, it's just there's no
Nice,
quantity I could put onto it. You know, so super thankful for that relationship, and I know how important it is, and never will be
Nice, brother.
about it. Yeah, man.
We have a last question for you.
Let's do it.
If one day everything is over and you will leave this earth, what do you want to be remembered for?
One answer is just a good dude, bro. Like a good dude, just kind of just a good dude in a bucket. That's like my other one. but in a winter, good dude, a bucket in the winter, man. And I think a good dude is pretty broad, like a good father, good son, good husband, good everything, you know, good friend, good teammate, all that good stuff. But I think that one would probably be the biggest one. Good person, man. I think that goes a long way, like longer than anything we can do playing in a basketball uniform, you know. So
Appreciate you,
Wash,
brother.
thanks a lot.
Hell
It's
yeah,
been a
great,
pleasure,
man.
bro.
I
Thanks a
appreciate
lot,
it, bro.
bro.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Thank you, bro.
Wonderful. Hell yeah.
Cool, man.